Well, there are moments in our testing journey when we come across people with absolutely high energy, and they bring in a lot of enthusiasm with them, and they have their prowess to back it up. And of course, once you have that confidence, that energy, they are able to scale new heights. Welcome to another episode of TesterSpeak Season 3 with me, your host, Brijesh Dev. And my guest today is exactly the epitome of what I just mentioned. She is a bundle of energy. She has scaled great heights and is doing really well. And let rest. We will talk to her when we actually get her on the show. So welcome to the show, Anusha.
Hey, thank you so much, Brijesh. I'm very glad to be part of this episode. You don't believe this is my first online meeting. I'm excited, and mostly I took more than a month to prepare for this. When you asked, I was like, okay, what I have done so far, to come online or to share my thoughts to the team or to the audience. I was not sure what to speak and what achievement I have done so far. Though I have done nothing, but I have experiences which I have gone through and I would like to share with the audience.
Well, it's not true that you have not achieved anything. Okay, you have achieved quite a lot, and your journey, just like every other tester, has been a unique one. It has been a very special one. And that is why, that is the reason why on TesterSpeak we try to talk to testers, because I believe that every tester has something unique about him or her. I believe that every tester has their own journey. Every tester has something to share with others. So, when I came across your profile, of course, through LinkedIn. Okay. In fact, it was our interaction on one of the videos, okay, from the legendary Naveen. Okay. And I had written something and you were like, really? Or something. That was a very brief YouTube interaction. And then I was like, who is this girl? And then I went and researched about you. And I was like, well, you've done really well for yourself. So I started thinking, okay, I should get this girl on the show and get her perspective on how testing is. And I'm so glad you're here today. So thank you for being a part of TesterSpeak. Thank you for accepting my invite. And I am pretty sure you will have a lot to share with the audience.
Yes, Brijesh, I'm pleasure to be part of this meeting. I was surprised that when I got a response from you for my request. I was preparing automation test strategy in my organization, and I was researching a lot. I was going through risk analysis, going through some article, and I got to know that article was written by you. It was such a detailed article, and I was surprised. Okay, oh, Brijesh, I know this person. I'm connected to this person over the LinkedIn. Okay, I was really glad, and that article helped me so much to understand the risk analysis. Then I completed my automation test strategy document, and after that, I thought of show my gratitude. Okay, let me at least ping Brijesh and say thank you to him. So I just pinged you and I really got a response from you. I was surprised because I have seen people don't respond to a request most of the time. But when I got your response and you have shared the template and you helped me to review the document, I was so glad. So yeah, thank you so much for helping me out there. And let me tell you, the test strategy review with my organization went really well. And yeah, thank you so much for that.
I'm glad. I'm glad, so generally when people talk to me or when people read my posts, the general conception that people have that I support a lot of testers who don't use tools or don't do a lot of automation. That is the general mindset. But I have done a little bit of work on automation, and, and thank you for finding one of those articles and making that as a basis. I'm glad it has worked for you. The test strategy that you prepared made absolute sense. It had a lot of good content, and I was happy that I was able to contribute. Talking on that subject, before coming to automation, how did you get started with your journey in testing?
I was good average student at my college. I completed my Master of Computer Applications. Then I moved to Bangalore. I did my master's in Tumkur SSIT. When I moved to Bangalore, I had no idea about IT. Trust me, I have nobody behind Anusha, do this, Anusha, do that, grab that opportunity. This is the position is, this is the responsibilities. Nobody. I was all alone. And of course, I have my brothers who are doing a great job, who are in a good position. But nobody cared, like, okay, Anusha, nobody suggested me in such a way that I have background, I have somebody in my background to teach me. Nobody were there. So I got the opportunity. I went for an interview and I got an opportunity as a data analyst. And on the same day, I had a joining date and I got a call from a different company where I already given the interview, but the final round was not done. I got a call from HR. He was like, today you have a last round of interview. Do you want to join? Do you want to attend? I was like, I was confused. Okay, I have an opportunity as a data analyst. And now I'm getting another call from the previous company that I have a final round of interview. What should I do now? So that's the decision I made. I just went for the interview, last round of interview. Trust me, that was my first joining in some of the company. I don't know how that thought came to my mind. I just went for an interview and I got a software engineer trainee position in the company. It's a telecom-based company in Bangalore. So this is how my journey started. But yes, I had no idea about what are the responsibilities of the software engineer because I had zero knowledge about the responsibilities of either a developer or a tester. So that's where it started. I worked there for 1.5 years. I have struggled a lot. I have struggled a lot because there was high competition in my first company, and I was having very less confidence. Um, yeah, and it started as a tester. Then I moved to US after my marriage, after wedding. Then here I struggled a lot. So this is how I started, and now I'm working as an automation test engineer.
That's fantastic. Like I said, every tester has a unique story. And this is a nice choice that you have to make because data analyst, is a great profile as well. But then you chose to come into software engineering and now you're doing well in automation. Good for you for choosing that. We have a good engineer added to the software testing family, which is good. Now, I want to talk about your journey from moving into automation. Okay, so when people think about getting into automation, they have sort of a fear, they have, doubts in their mind, they have different ideas. So what were some of the challenges that you faced and how did you overcome those?
Well, I just had 1.5 years of experience back in India as a manual QA engineer. When I moved to US, it was quite challenging to get a job here. So again, this data analyst came to picture. I enrolled for a data analyst a training because I was not sure how to start my career as a test engineer back in US. And here, getting a job in 2017 was very challenging because they were looking for only the citizens in US. And I was a non-immigrant. I had no idea, and I had no idea how to apply for a job. So one of my friends suggested me, why don't you search, suleka.com. So in that, I was just going and I was seeing the post. There are many different courses like business analyst, freelancing, test engineer. So test engineer back in India, I was not successful. I struggled a lot due to competition, high competition. I was really frustrated. So when in US, why not? Why don't we? Why don't I, give it a try as a business analyst? So I joined the course. Then after that, it was a scam. They did not market my resume. It was completely scam. They said they will be marketing my resume, and I had an idea. Okay, I'll be getting a job as a business analyst. That was a completely scam. Then I took a freelancing course. So here in freelancing, I completed my training, and after completing my training, I started working as a freelance tester in utest.com. So utest.com, hopefully you are aware of. I have seen your LinkedIn post about utest. So I was working as a mobile test engineer in the UTest. Luckily, after some time, one of my mentor in UTest, she only referred me to the job, to my first job in US. So I worked for Wipro and one of the big banking domain. So there I started learning automation. So again, it was struggling as an automation engineer, starting from test engineer, freelance tester, then an automation engineer. So I was learning by myself. Then I had an interview. I supposed to be prepared for all the interview questions for automation. Then I have found Naveen Automation Labs YouTube channel in the YouTube. Um, TestNG, I was going through his series, and I was glad. Okay, I within you don't believe, within an hour I completed all the series of TestNG, and I was ready for interview because I no need to research, or I no need to read the article to understand the concept. Just by watching his video, I was able to understand. So that was one thing I would like to mention. And after that, I completed my interview. I got a job. The second job, in the second job, again, it was challenging as an automation test engineer. Then I took an online training from Naveen that helped me a lot, to understand the advanced level of automation. So now I'm working as a estate in a very good insurance domain company, and here it is going well so far. So yeah, this is my journey as a estate.
Great, great. And from what I can understand, from what you just explained is there will be struggles, there would be challenges, but you have to find your way. You have to find the right guru. And in both our cases, the guru has been Naveen. And it's incredible how Naveen has helped many testers, including you and me, to shape their automation journeys. Well, I've been doing automation for quite some time, but mostly it was with, you know, Perl programming or Python or, doing that. But when it came to, commercial off the shelf software, or something like open source, when you talk about Selenium and stuff like that, I had my own struggles. And of course, when I came across Naveen Automation Labs, it was my savior too. And I always believed, and I still believe, that Naveen is a big celebrity. At that time, I used to think like that. Like, will this guy respond even if I reach out to him? But once I reached out to him, he gave me a response, and then we started test chat community. Naveen was one of our biggest supporters. He still is. Okay, he hosted us on his channel, did a welcome and interviewed us. He appeared on our channel, and he's been a part of this series as well, plus more. So, Naveen has been a big part of my life as well, just like yours. So, so Naveen, if you're watching, a big shout out to you. And, thank you for helping Anusha. Thank you for helping me, and thank you for helping thousands of testers all over the world. Keep up the great work, Naveen.
True. I would like to add few more points about Naveen. Um, he is so humble. Even my
Absolutely.
connection with, how I connected with Naveen is also through LinkedIn. I was working on something on automation. I messaged him over the LinkedIn. I didn't expect his response. I was like very glad he responded to my question, and he came. He came online. He shared the web, go to meeting link, and he helped me out to understand the issue, and he tried to solve the issue. And I was so glad that I didn't expect. Okay, he will respond to someone else who is strange. And yeah, the online training which I took was very helpful for me. I got to learn so many things, very advanced concepts, and the way he teaches is next level. Anybody can understand, and I'm so glad to I was a part of his online training, and I'm here because of him, I would say that.
Absolutely. Congratulations on getting wherever you got to so far. And I'm sure you're going a long way. So talking still further about automation. Okay. Now that you are a part of, you're an SDET and you're working on test strategies and stuff like that. So while preparing this automation test strategy, I know you and I have privately discussed about the kind of challenges that you've had, but would you like to share with the audience the kind of challenges that you had and the steps that you've taken to sort of overcome those?
Yes. So when I started preparing for automation test strategy, I started researching in a Google. The first thing you need to prepare is the template. What is the content you need to have in the automation test strategy? So I have got some of the documents which been using by the enterprise in our organization, but I was not pretty much happy with the document. I am the person who always want to put my thoughts, my thought process, whatever I do in either maybe document or maybe the work. So I was not pretty much happy with the content, the template of the automation test strategy which is available in the organization. I was like, okay, let me research and let me finalize the content of the strategy document. Then I collected some of the automation test strategy document and finalized what all the contents needs to be required in the document. Then after that, okay, first thing would be the scope. In scope, what is in scope, or what is business goal? So I need to make sure, I need to understand what is the business goal for your project, and write down 3 to 4 bullet points. What is the business goal? For me, since I'm working as a working in an insurance domain company, um, our main concern is about the satisfaction of the customer on the insurance domain application. So I had few more points to add. I just took the points from the project document, and I have added in the as a business goal. So the next is the feasibility, automation feasibility. So that is most important. What the candidate can automate, what all the functionalities the user can automate, or what cannot be automated. So that is important. That goes second of the second content in the strategy document. So you must be able to understand the scenarios which you can automate, and the scenarios which cannot be automated, and make sure you are writing it down. Since my project was new, I was not able to write down what cannot be automated. So I just kept it as it is. Maybe later, after a year or maybe after 6 months, once the application is developed, I must be able to understand, analyze what cannot be automated. Then I can add the point in that. And the third is, I would say, um, in scope, or maybe the device coverage or the test coverage. So test coverage would be, if it is an application, what all the modules which you are going to cover in the through automation. So that comes as a test coverage. And the other one is test scope, like what are the browsers you are going to cover through automation. And if you are doing parallel testing, just put a note in the test coverage field. And the other one would be, the fourth point would be the responsibility of roles and responsibility of a automation team. So what we are responsible for: executing the regression suite, executing the smoke suite, and sharing the test results with the team, running the batch execution every day. So those are the responsibilities you need to put it down in the roles and responsibility column. So after that, of course, analysis, the risk analysis. You need to make sure what are the challenges we may face. And the final is failure analysis, how you are going to mitigate the issue whenever we face. So here it comes, the content of the strategy document. It went well, right? I was able to complete the document within 2 to 3 days of my efforts. This is how it is. Yeah.
So from the team perspective, did you face any challenges with regards to not just collecting the information, but getting everybody to understand what your strategy was?
So after completing my document, I had a review with my team members, then with my manager and another team member, another manager from a different team. So I, so pretty much I was able to convince my team members, and I took a input from them, and I added in the, I added those points in the document. And also from my manager, he had reviewed the document, and he has shared his perspective, he has shared his thoughts on the document, and we added those. So it's just not about my thought. It since it is a team, we must be able to understand what other team members are thinking, and we make sure we are adding all those points in our document, because this is just not me who will be working on the automation. We have a team members. So then
Absolutely.
once I convinced my team members, then I had a review with all the team members, including business team. So yeah, well, if your team members are supportive, they are convinced with your thought process, your document, then you don't need to struggle a lot to convince the other team members, because you will be having a support from your team members.
Absolutely. Now, I think you made a very good point, because a lot of times what happens is people who work on a strategy, they do it by themselves. They don't really care about the fact that there are other people involved. Let's take their opinion. Let's try and learn from them as well. And it should be a collaborative effort. So that is a beautiful example that you've set. And I think those who are listening, those who are working on test strategies, whether it is with regards to automation or without automation, doesn't matter. When you talk about quality being everybody's responsibilities, this is the way you demonstrate it. Get everybody involved. When you do your risk analysis, take the inputs from developers. What risk do they see? Take the inputs from architects. What risks do they see? Talk to your fellow testers. What risks are they seeing? Talk to the product owner. That's how you do it. And you set a beautiful example of that. Thank you so much for that. I'm sure people who are listening, who are working on that, stuff like test strategy or preparing an automation strategy, they understand this. Another beautiful point that you made was that, understanding what the business goals are. That is very important. If your test strategy is not aligned with the business strategy, then, it will be a disaster, because you will be going on a different track. You will not solve the problems that the product is trying to solve for the customer. Instead, you will solve your own problems. So it's very important. So great steps there. Now, moving on to the next question that I have for you is, so when you transitioned from that manual testing role to the role of an SDET, a lot of people are asking this question time and again. How do I move into automation? What is it that I need to do to move into automation? So what is the advice that you have for such people?
Well, if you are planning to move your designation from manual to estate or automation engineer, the first thing is you should have an interest of coding, the basic interest at least. Then try to go through all the different documents or different articles which is available in the Google. Try to go through it and try to learn by your own, I would say, instead of just jumping into some company and started working as an automation engineer and try to struggle in a company. Better start from the scratch, start from the basic, try to learn the programming language first. If you are interested in Java, or if you're interested in any scripting language, start from there. Then start creating start working on the basic programs, basic logics, and try to create your own framework, or try to understand how we can automate the simple basic application. So let's take an example. Any maybe the Amazon.com, or maybe any application. Try to automate by yourself, and if you are facing issues, try to resolve by yourself. And another thing is, of course, you can join any online training that may help you to help you to learn more and to understand the advanced technology of the automation. That's where helped me to become an automation test engineer, because even I started as a started from the basic. I started learning the Java programming language, though we learned in our college days, but that is different. Working in a company is different. So then I joined the online course. I understood all the different concepts of the automation. It's just not about automating the application. You also need to understand the DevOps concepts as well. So this is the advice I would like to give to the audience. Just start from the scratch, and try to learn slowly, or try to reach the level where you must be able to understand the advanced concepts.
What about freshers? What's your advice for them?
So yeah, I would like to take this opportunity not only to give advice to the freshers, but also to the leads or mentors who are in the organization. See, treat freshers as a freshers. That's my first request, because they'll be coming with the zero knowledge of anything. Like, they'll be having no knowledge about the responsibilities which they have to perform. So if you are treating them as a experienced candidate, they are not experienced one, they are a fresher, right? Don't pressurize them, or don't stress them out to work more than 8 hours or 10 hours, because this is my experience. I had no idea about what I'm supposed to do as a test engineer. I had no idea how to write the test scenarios. I had no idea how to write a defect. So I would request lead or mentors, before giving the KT on the application or a product, first give them a basic responsibilities KT. How to write a test cases, how to write a defect, what is your responsibility. Then give them an application KT, then they must be able to understand. Of course, this sounds very silly, maybe, but this is my advice to the mentors. Then to the freshers, of course, when you get an opportunity to work in a company, try to utilize that. Try to put your efforts to work on whatever you are doing. Try to research a lot. If you don't know what your responsibility is, go and research in a Google what is the responsibilities of a tester or a developer, and understand about it, and try to implement in your career, in your job. And try to make sure be transparent within a team. That is most important. If you are not transparent enough, if you are not open up to speak, or if you're not transparent enough, it's going to be difficult for you to survive in a company.
I think that is some great advice, and I like the way you've advised some leads and mentors as well. I think that's very sensible, and what you said is absolutely right. Treat freshers like freshers. Yeah. If you think that, oh, they're going to change the world, of course they're going to change the world. Yes. But for that, they will need your help. Okay, you can't expect them to come and do this and the world has changed. Doesn't happen. Well, okay, so now I come to the fun segment of the interview, which is what I call as rapid fire. So I'm going to ask you a few questions. Okay. You have only 5 seconds to think about the answer. And if it is a multiple choice question, you will have to tell me why you're making that choice. Okay. And the first one is a multiple choice question, or where you have to pick between 2 So the two choices that I give you is New Jersey or Bangalore.
This is really trick question. Really trick question. I'm not a Bangalorean,
Okay.
so I choose New Jersey. Because
Oh,
if you ask me,
I
yeah,
should
if you,
have said Chitradurga or
yes.
okay, so let me
Okay,
ask you that. Okay, so
okay.
Chitradurga or New Jersey.
Oh, Chitradurga, of course.
Why?
That is my route where I come from. Like that is my route. I would like to stay back with my parents. Of course, that's what I would say. I have nobody here. Trust me, I'm just all alone. Of course, my husband is back in India. My parents are back in India. That is my route. I always love to live there, or I always cherish the moments which I spent there.
So, what's your favorite food?
Gobi Manchurian.
Do you get that in New Jersey?
No, it's not. It's of course it's available in New Jersey, but yeah, that's my favorite chat.
I'm also a big Gobi Manchurian fan.
Yeah,
I mean, anything to do with cauliflower, yes, my
yeah.
hand always goes up. So I have just little soft corner for cauliflower. all, all right. And here's a question that I've been daring to ask a lot of testers, but I haven't really asked them in the interview. But you're the first one. So, if you are given to change anything in your career journey so far, what would you like to change?
Mhm. Well, I really need to think about this question. What I would like to change as a tester or as a person. I just need to be clear with the
No,
question.
in your career journey. So as a tester, let's say.
Um, as of now, I'm not getting a thought what to change in a career. So still trying to understand: is it in an organization or it is related to me in my
No,
career?
so if you look back in your career, which is almost a decade, so
Okay.
in that decade, if you were given a chance, go back and change something, what will you change?
So, okay, in that case, yes, as I said, I was not successful in my first job. I struggled a lot. So, if I go back, if I want to change my life or my thoughts, I'll just go back to my old days and I'll try to change my mindset, how to behave or how to be ready for the challenges, how to make sure what I'm doing, try to understand what my responsibilities are as a fresher or as a trainee in the organization. And that's what I would like to do it, because that was my very struggling stage. um, I had no idea about what I was doing, so that's what I would like to change. I just go back, learn few more things, research a lot, and I'll try to implement in my first job. So that's what I want to do.
Okay. Well, the one word that has stood out for me in this entire conversation is research, and I'm I'm certain that research has helped you get to wherever you've got so far.
Yep.
So, what are some of the resources that you would like to suggest to fellow testers in terms of research? Okay, what is a good research material?
Mhm. So for me, not a specific article or not a specific YouTube channel. I'll research by going through all the documents, like at least 4 to 5 articles. Then I'll take up the points. I'll write down in my own way. If you take the YouTube channels, also I just don't stick to any single channel or just don't watch someone's channel, because I want to understand what others' perspective are, how others teach, So I'll research and I'll watch different videos, and then I'll come to conclusion which is good. Then I use that or utilize that to implement in my work. So I don't want to give a particular article reference or particular channel reference to the freshers. Just read documents, read the articles, different articles, and watch YouTube channels, which is easily available right now for everyone. So, and then if you like some of the channels, then of course you can stick on that channel or maybe article. But I'm the person who won't stick with anything, any single document or single article or some brand. No, I don't believe in that.
So I let me put it this way, okay? Let me ask you this question. So on the internet, there is a lot of information that's available.
Yep.
Some of them is good information, and some of them is just misleading information.
Yeah.
So how do you separate, or how do you filter the misleading information and stick to the good information? How do you do that?
Okay. So if you, for example, if you take any of the framework which I want to learn, then of course we have an official website. For example, currently I'm learning WebDriver.io. So I go through the WebDriver.io official document, official page. Then I go through those APIs and documents, and I'll try to compare the YouTube channels who are giving the same information. Then I try to stick on that channel, and I'll try to learn from them. So that's why I compare and I analyze, okay, this is what they are teaching and this is understandable from them. So then I refer them. That's what I compare, and I conclude myself, okay, this is good. Let me stick to this channel and try to understand how they are explaining. So then I follow those videos.
No, that's pretty sensible advice. It's very easy for people to get distracted by information which is not sensible enough. But following the official website, getting information from there, and then trying to base your research on that official information is a brilliant idea. I like that suggestion. In fact, more and more people should try and do that. And it is not necessarily just the freshers. This is a good advice for people who are well experienced, or having a good amount of knowledge, because there is information overload in today's day and age, and we need to be able to filter out the good stuff and the not so good stuff. I won't say bad stuff, but there is some stuff which is not good enough. Well, I came into this interview, because I was obviously thinking, oh, Anusha, she's done so well, and she's going to talk about automation and stuff. But you've given a lot of very practical, common sense kind of advice, and not just for freshers, but for everybody. Okay, and this has been an amazing journey of yours, and I'm sure you're going to go a long way. It has been an absolute pleasure talking to you today, Anusha. And I wish you all the best in your career. I am glad that you found one of my articles useful.
Yes. Okay.
that was something that even I did not expect. When I saw your message and you said you wanted to talk about automation test strategy, and I'm like, okay, Anusha has been a student of Naveen. So why isn't she asking Naveen? Why is she asking me? Okay, it came to me as a surprise. But then I was like, okay, let's see what it is and let's see what her question is. So I responded immediately. And I said, and then you said, no, you want to discuss about automation test strategy. And I said, yeah, okay. So I've done some work there. Let me see how that goes. And I'm glad you found it useful. So
yeah, definitely, Brijesh. So it was very detailed. I was surprised how someone can write this detailed document, because even I tried to create a blog. I tried to do that, but that didn't work for me. because you have to research and you have to understand the concept and you have to write it on your own. So when I found your article, I was surprised who is the author who has written so well, so detailed. Then I just completing the article at last, I was like, okay, Brijesh, oh, I know this person. Okay, let me just ping him and say thank you. So,
Well, I'm
yeah.
glad it worked for you. I hope that others find it useful as well. Thank you so much for giving your time today. I know it's a working day. I know you've taken some time off your work to do this interview. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you, Anusha, today.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Rajesh. Thanks for giving me this opportunity to share my thoughts. I'm grateful. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you.